Hello. So after watching the first video, this is where you should be coming to. And this is the second video covering the slingshot rocket, and it's going to be covering the creation process of the rocket specifically. So one thing that you guys should be having for this project is I'll be putting the instructions, I'll be telling you all the materials you need. So firstly, you'll be needing 2 rubber bands or 1 really long rubber band if you don't. So these would be these 2. You have to have a straw. It doesn't matter the length, but you should have a straw to a certain size. You should have 1 single craft stick. You should have a paper clip, and you should also have craft paper. And you could edit this however you want once you start building it, and you could renovate it however you please. It's just a base, and you could also add, let's say, a sharp point to the front, or you could be adding wooden skewers to the front, whatever you want to add to the front to make it more aerodynamic as such. So we're going to be covering the first building process. So you would first need your straw, and you would first need, you also need tape, as always. And what you need to do is that you need to get your straw, and you need to get your paper clip. And what you need to do with your paper clip is that you need to push one end outwards, like such, and bend it down. So it looks something like this. And then you would have to tape this to the bottom like that. And you could replace the paper clip for something that is metal and that is able to be bended. But I think paper clip is the most accessible, as most people always have a paper clip in their house. So that's that. This is going to be where you're going to be putting your rubber band to pull this back. So this is going to be the handle. Next, you would need your craft paper. So what you need to do is you could sketch before you cut, but all you gotta do is cut triangles out of this. So I'll be cutting that out to show you. These are going to be the fins of your rocket. Oops, I fell on the ground. There we go. So it's only going to be like this. And you'll be gluing these or taping them to the back of this plane. And this is to make it more aerodynamic. We're going to be doing this 3 times. So you need to do it a couple more times to get some good things. And hopefully they should all be the same size. If they're not, well, that's just your creativity coming out of it. But you should hopefully make all 3 the same size, as it'll be more aerodynamic because they're all the same length. So you get some tape. You get tape and paste on one side of the dorsal fin, and you would glue, tape it down. And then another piece of tape around the same length. I think I made this a little bit too long. But then you go on the opposite side, the side that doesn't have any tape, and tape it down to the straw. And there you go. That's one fin down. Now you're going to do this a couple more times. So get some tape. Get to your fin. Place it down on your fin. And tape down. And move to the other side. There we go. That's 2, and now I need 1 more for the last side. And I sort of cut these unevenly, but you do not have to follow my footsteps. You can measure them out if you draw them out and sketch to make sure that they all are the right size, as that will make the best what's it called? The best rocket. So after you have cut all those out, you add some tape to the other side. And voila. This would be the base of your rocket. So now you got this going for you. I'm holding it backwards or upside down. And that would be that. Now all you gotta do is add a rubber band, and you could also add something to the tip. So I could help you guys think about some creative things, because right now, because there's a hole in it, it's not gonna fly as well, as the air is gonna go through it and it's gonna slow down your plane, and you don't want that. What you do want, however, is to, let's say, add some weight to the front for it to be more aerodynamic. And you could do this if you could get some plastics. And this is just one way you could make it more aerodynamic. You just put a couple of craft sticks. Mine are going too fine. You put a couple craft sticks inside of your straw. And ta-da! Now that's your rocket. So I put 3 craft sticks inside. So I mean, you might have to edit the materials to your needs, as they're not going to be consistent for everyone. This is one way to do it, as now it's a soft point. It's not going to hurt, it's going to bounce. And one last thing we need to do is to create the handle. So how I'm going to create the handle is that you're going to get your rubber band. So this would be 2 rubber bands knot together, and I'll help them knot again. Actually, we'll just make it 3 rubber bands, just for demonstrative purposes. So you would put these rubber bands in between one another, as you can see. And you would pull the rubber band over the orange one and back under. Actually, not back under, sorry, I messed up. You would pull it over, and you would stretch. Okay, I know. Actually, let's just do it with only 2, because I think I want to demonstrate you guys it correctly. So you get one, you get the other. You would pull it through and under, and you totally get this area. Now you have ribbons stuck together. And what we're going to need to do with this is we're going to need to get some tape. We're going to need to tape the one side of this in the middle, as this is going to be where the ribbon is going to be glued or stuck to the piece of wood with a craft stick. Then we're going to glue the ribbon on top. And fold this downward and tape. And there you go. You got your launcher. So now, once we get a rocket, we clear this out. Now we can hold and shoot. I should mess that up a little, but I'll leave it to yourself to create it and to let it fly. You can do it all the way from back. Oops, I missed that. Oops, okay. Let's make it from there. I don't want to make it break anything in my house. That's why we should be doing this outside, but see, there you go. Actually, we might need to renovate this clip right here. So one thing you can do is to trim it, because I think one problem that some people might have is that it might be getting in the way, and that it's not going to be clipping as well. So you can just make an indent in it and start just bending until it cracks off. And then you're left with a tiny little piece at the bottom. And one other thing you do to make your plane more aerodynamic is to also just cut off the piece of metal at the end. And what this will do, you just cut off to a tape too. And what this will do for your plane is that it's going to remove any excess metal that's going to be on your plane. So let's say you cut off this one, because all you need is this tiny little portion, so you can indent it. Okay. And now you're just going to bend it to it. Great. Which it has not done yet, but it will soon. So these renovations are just things that you're gonna need to add to your own if you see fit and make it more dynamic and more beneficial, because I'm just giving you the base model as is most of these videos. It's just going to be the bare bones basic model, and you as the engineer have to go and experiment for yourself and see, what can I do to make this model better? So yeah, there we go. That is what I did to make this model better. And just be a little careful with metal because it's always sharp. I think having a parent help you with that would be most beneficial. And then we'll place that once more here. Place that on the tip. And voila. Now we got our clip ready. You see that? There you go. And now this will be easier, as now the clip is easily caught on. And then fire. See, that went straight because there wasn't anything in the way. I think I'll shoot it behind me so you guys can see the true extent of this. Oops, look at it. Okay. So you see how, I think one problem with this is that it's not taped on fully, because whenever it lets go, it gets stuck onto the duplicate. So let's try it this time. So hopefully it goes forward and flies across the room. If it doesn't, then just mess with it until it does. So upward. Oh, do you see that? Hopefully the client can't pop that. But yeah, it went flying. We'll aim it higher up for the camera to see. Voila. So yeah, that's what you're going to be making. Hopefully you enjoy the video. And please be safe. Wait, get up and pick it up off the floor. But please be safe with these. I think having wood at the back makes it just a little bit safer, but I think what's going to make it the safest is to put maybe like a eraser head on the tip to make it just safer and add more weight to it. But yeah, that's it for you. Thank you for coming along the journey and making it with me. I'll see you in the next video, which will be covering whys and quite. So yeah, thank you.